Welcome to the first issue of Fearless Defenders, written by Cullen Bunn with art by Will Slaney. The issue begins with a pensive Valkyrie standing on a cliff when blood begins to fall as rain. This foreboding opening shifts to Misty Knight hunting smugglers for a client. Revealing herself in a semi-intentional manner, Misty promptly commences the ass-kicking process. Before she can recover all the stolen artifacts, a helicopter appears, forcing Misty to flee. She of course gets away safely, and takes a small artifact she recovered to her client, Dr. Annabelle Riggs. Riggs, an archaeologist, is currently excavating an old Viking burial, and while examining the artifacts Misty recovered, Riggs inadvertently turns on the equivalent of what seems like an ancient music box. But a music box that can raise the dead! As Misty fights off the undead, Valkyrie gallantly appears, having felt some sort of disturbance. After some good old-fashioned zombie crushing, Valkyrie wisely smashes the source of all this madness. Without the mysterious song, the zombies return to their eternal slumber. The mystery song, the rising dead, and the ancient Asgardian artifacts all point to the apparent rising of a group Valkyrie calls the Doom Maidens. With this unlikely grouping and a mysterious new threat, where will the Fearless Defenders go from here?
So it looks like they're going to have to obviously team up to fight these undead creatures, but
yeah, there's not really much of a lead to go on besides smugglers are involved and Doom Maidens.
This seemed like the only logical kind of connection between Asgardia and Heroes for Hire, so they kind of were forced to go with this, I think. This is the only logical starting point. Yeah. Unless the only other way would be like if Captain America said, hey, Misty, you, and Valkyrie, you, team up and do...
That would be even less dramatic and less of a plot to go on.
Yeah. So why don't we look at the roster of the Fearless Defenders so far? You know, obviously first we got Valkyrie, Shield Maiden of Asgard. She was on Secret Avengers. In Fear Itself, she was pretty important as well. What do you think of her being like a lead character of a series?
I think she's got the chops to do it because she definitely is capable in battle. She has a strong head on her, so she knows what she's doing, and she's got a good sense of what is right and what's wrong. And so as a leader, she's a good character. Her personality is very dry.
Right.
And so you kind of need to team that up with someone that will play off of that. And so I guess the second person, Misty, is a good choice for that.
I always liked Misty Knight. She kind of wasn't really in the forefront of Marvel the past few years, and I'm glad she's getting her own title because she's just an awesome character. I mean, she's got the bionic arm from Tony Stark. She's got the Luke Cage connection with Heroes for Hire. So she's got her foot in a lot of parts of the Marvel Universe. She was roommates with Jean Grey in college. I definitely think these two leads will kind of bounce off each other pretty well.
And the third person in this group so far is Dr. Annabelle Riggs. And she's pretty much like the Indiana Jones.
Yeah, she's a new character in the Marvel Universe. I mean, we just don't know enough about her to know if she'll be interesting or not.
What we do know about her is that she likes girls. I really was kind of shocked by what they did, only because it was so random.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was just forced in there.
So another character they're going to add later, though, is Danny Moonstar, who I think is another nice addition. Because it would be kind of cool, because that way the Fearless Defenders kind of have their foot in almost every corner of the Marvel Universe. They'll have, the Hell's Kitchen, Heroes for Hire connection, the Avengers connection, the Asgard connection, the X-Men connection. Mm-hmm. So they can really take the story anywhere.
So one thing that caught my eye, kind of not in a good way, was some of the poses that Misty or Valkyrie were in. They would be posed essentially with their ass sticking out in the air in mid-fight, and it was just absurd. And it just bugged the hell out of me.
That's what readers want to see, hot chicks.
I mean, I think a lot of people want to see more than just that. I think that's very...
Misogynistic,
and it's kind of thinking less of the reader, that the reader doesn't actually care for anything besides just watching these women in absurd poses fighting people.
And kind of like you brought up before with the whole kiss, that was another thing they just threw in.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I would almost prefer that more heroes be open about their sexuality, or especially if they're gay, because right now in comics it seems that whenever there's a gay character, it's just a novelty. And they sort of just play it up in the worst ways possible. And it's totally fine that Annabelle Riggs is a lesbian, but, there's a better way of introducing her as a lesbian than just, straight up kissing Valkyrie in the middle of a fight, out of nowhere. I don't know.
So as a grade for Fearless Defenders #1, what would you give it?
I would give it a 2 out of 5. I found very little to be excited for in the next issue.
I'm going to disagree with you slightly. I actually sort of like this issue. They did a lot of cool things, and, hot chicks in a comic book. So I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5.
There's hot chicks in every comic book.
It wasn't Morbius, so 3.5 out of 5. So thanks for watching B3 Comics review of Fearless Defenders #1. Before we go, though, we got a question for you guys.
So we pointed out that Jean Grey was the roommate of Misty Knight. So who in the Marvel Universe would you most like to be the roommate of?
Leave your answer below in the comments, and also check us out on Twitter. Thanks for watching.